Welcome back to another episode of this all of my newest game, Supermarket Spree. And today I wanted to continue on developing this game. Actually, today, since I do not have too much time to make something about this game and to spare, but I'm feeling confident about this game will take less time after the previous one. So let's just jump in to the game development, and let's just continue on developing this game. As you can see, I already opened my to-do text section, and last time I added navmesh functionality inside this game in order to make the collision with the characters to make them even easier. So let's just go over there, and this is my customer, and the clerk wants the customer to go here and go there. Yeah, that's looking good. And let's just go here and set the delay time as 5 and stop time as 5. So right now target shelf is missing. Also, let's just remove these lines, these commented outlines, because I will not use those lines right now, and format this section a little better. Stop the movement, the target position. This is looking way better, way good. And also, just come here, remove this, remove that. This is thing. And movement vector with speed, set destination plus movement, transform position plus movement. And this is also looking really nice. So let's just continue from here, and let's test the functionality that if the player answers the question correctly, and after that the player goes and touches. If the player goes and touches the character, touches the customer, the customer should go to the shelf where the player answer. Looking good. And now the customers, and I touch the customer, and after I touch the customer tries to move towards the shelf. Yes, onto the shelf. How about two customers? Customer 1, and let's say that I have another customer wandering around here with let's call this customer as customer 2, with a customer to target position is here. I forgot to assign this customer position to here. Yes. Looking good. Go to 3 seconds and find the customer position. Let's just assign this position for the customer. 1, 2, 3. Customer 2 should start moving. The customer 2 is moving, and my character should go to this Apple section. 1, 2, check answer, not correct. 3, 4. Great, and go back and alert this customer, and alert this customer too. Okay, after the alert, the customers are waiting. Move to shelf. I do not want them to wait. So let's wait for half a second. Next. Let's just go to this shelf. Set this to 1.4 and tell the customer 1, tell the customer 2. Perfect. And right now they are going to go there to enter the shelf. Yes, they both wanted to go to the same direction, but okay, this is also good. So far so good. And in order to keep the flow, I will need to add some functionality for this. What I mean by functionality is that this section, this this is the first chapter that I'm trying to develop, will consist of 5 different problems. So after what I mean by that is that after the player goes to that section, goes to that shelf and answers the question correctly, and after that it goes back to the clerks, goes back to the customers, and after the customers, all of the customers went there and emptied the shelf with the discounted price, they should return back to their original positions, or after all the customers are, or just not all the customers, but maybe the shelf can have a number of elements, maybe 9 elements, maybe 8 elements, maybe 8 cube or 10 cube, let's say 10 cubes. And after all of the after the shelf is emptied, the customer should return back to its original position. So let's say that this shelf has an game object array of shelf elements, and let's set this serialized fields, shelf elements, and public get shelf elements, which gets shelf elements. If the customer touches here, it gets the shelf element of 1, which means if shelf element length equals 0, let's set a boolean as shelf is empty and serialize this field. What are you doing? Serialize this field, boolean shelf is empty. If shelf element at the beginning, the start shelf is empty equals false, because shelf is not empty. But if shelf elements dot length equals to 0, shelf is empty equals true, and return emptied. If shelf is not empty, shelf element, let's just make this as list, because I want to add and remove objects in here. So let's keep it simple as count and shelf elements. Remove what? Remove the last elements. Okay, ChatGPT, how can I remove the last element of a list? Not Python, but in C# Unity. Element dot remove element dot count -1. Remove ads. So after my character calls for the customers, move to shelf, set destination target position. Let's set an update in here and check the distance between shelf and the customer. So is customer tricked by player? Customer tricked by player, true. So if customer tricked by player, then load distance equals to vector 3 distance between this customer position, transform position, and target shelf position. And if distance is, let's say, less than 2, agent stop. Also, is stopped true. Okay, not a problem. Is stopped to true. Let's stop the agent and start buying. Is stopped true. Buy elements. Buy shelf elements. Start coroutine. Buy shelf elements. And this will be the alive coroutine in that time. Buy shelf elements. What I mean by buying shelf elements is that target shelf gets components shelf dot is no. Let's rename this as buy shelf elements and found it. Return. Not return, but okay, I need to return this element or null for this shelf empty section. Shelf elements, remove it, okay. But before variable game object last shelf element equals element return last shelf element. Let's just return game object return null or high shelf elements. Shelf elements. Serialized fields. Game object list. Game object and game objects both. Game object both. Which I want to say that at goes new this game object. Okay, what I am currently doing is that if customer goes to that shelf and gets really close about distance, let's say distance bit below 2, the agent is stopped, then our navigation mesh is stopped, and then this coroutine, the buying shelf elements coroutine is starting. So buy shelf elements coroutine is starting is that after yield return we wait for seconds, but first I will check this thing. If just let's say game object element both equals to this target shelf by shelf element, and if element both is null, yield break. I'm not really sure that I need to stop the coroutine. Let's just call this also stop coroutine. Let's just kill current coroutine and set yield break. If not null, if the element both is not null, then game object both is needed to append another, and after 1 second another coroutine of high shelf elements should be started. So after the shelf is emptied, move to shelf, move to target, start position. I also need the reference for the start position. Vector 3 original position. Oh, I also have this, but let's rename this. Start position. Customer start position. Let's add another IE numerator as move back to start position. Is that agents that set destination to customer start position. So customer tricked back there. If distance is less than 2 and by shelf elements and no element both is left, let's set this to false. Okay, customer tricked by player. Move back to start position. But how do I know the character is reached to its start position? Customer returning back to original position. Let's set this thing to false at the beginning. Set this to true in here. So if customer returning back to its original position, let's get this distance, transfer position, and customer start position. If distance is less than, if distance is really close, set the agent to start and start the coroutine off. Move to targets. Also, this doesn't need it to be any enumerator. Let's just set this to void a method. Back where false. Move back to start position. Is this thing, and when the customer returns back to its original position, set this to false because customer is at its original position. So let's just try this, and this shelf should have some elements. Let's say this shelf has elements. Element 1, element 2, element 3, element 4. 2, 3. Shelf is empty? No. When I go there and alert the customer starts to go to that shelf. Okay, that's fast. It's really fast. Customer already bought. Shelf emptied. Buy shelf elements. Why just back to its original position? Yes. Why this fast? It's customer tricked by player. No. Something is wrong in here. Distance is less than 2. Agent is stopped true. And the pass, okay, should be false. First things first, this should be false. And set a debug log in here. Customer at the shelf. Let's go to the shelf and try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check answer. Everything is perfect. I alert the customer goes to this 1, 2, 3, 4. Shelf emptied. And is customer returning back to position? Shelf emptied. Yes. Return no. Customer at the shelf. All of the things are bought, but customer does not buy shelf. Is customer back to that position? Hold. Let's just customer start position. Let's try this again. Or check answer. Great. Let's just touch the customer. Let's go. Customer goes to its end, starts playing elements, and agent set destination to customer start position, which is 8.1 at agent stopped false. I do this. Check answer. Great. Now go to the customer. Let's go back to this position. Customer returns back. This is the target position. Starts playing elements. Turn back is cold. Okay, that's my bad. Shelf is empty. Turn back to original position. And where is the shelf? Shelf is empty. How about two customers? Let's just change the buying period. Buy shelf element time to, let's say, 3 seconds. Before I alert this customer, I alert that customer. This is the shelf. Second one, fourth one, and shelf is empty. And they will start back to their original position. And after the shelf is emptied, the next question should appear for the player, which is market Apple's price changed, which is this, the next question. But when do I know the shelf is emptied? Shelf, target shelf position, go to shelf. There is customer treat by player. Okay, shelf is empty. Shelf emptied. The shelf emptied is cold. And the next question should appear. Apple's price change day now cost. So, where is this load text manager? What I do after shaft touched? Load chapter 1 task 1. Chapter 1 task 1. Where are you? 1 task 1. Okay. This is the section. And now I will need to have a chapter 1 task 2. Chapter 1 task 2. Action. Chapter 1. Question text 2. Chapter 1 question 2. Positive feedback. Question 2. Negative feedback. Question 2. Let's say 20% off. $10 and not apples but bananas. 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 I'm not really sure about the pronunciation of that word. Bananas. Chapter 1 task 2. Add now mesh functionality. This is correct. Do move stop, change target. This is also finalized after the interaction is done. Movement should be disabled. This thing is still on the left. After the correct answer is customer action should be started. Okay, this is also finalized. Create customers. Finalized. Integrate questions inside the talking balloons. And right now I'm continuing on this thing. Okay, so load text fields. After shaft touched, first and second question. Actually, I will need to welcome text. I will need to go over these things one by one. So let's just for question 1. Let's copy and paste it as for question 2. I just want to test something. Task 2, chapter 1, task 2, action, chapter after shaft touched. After shaft touched. Okay, let's say task for questions. Let's say I have a string called current question string, which is equals to 1 at the beginning. Let's also not set this thing, but let's set it as integer. Current question string and string in chapter question string. Okay, which is 1 and load text value equals chapter 1 task plus current question string to string on task action. Oh, my time is over. Let me just finalize this thing over here. Chapter 1 task 1 chapter 1 task 1 plus action and also chapter 1 question text 1 question 1 negative feedback question 1 plus, and also let's add this to here. Chapter 1 question 1 positive feedback. Let's test this one first. Change Apple plans. There are now. Okay, let's go to the Apple section. Not correct. Try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Okay, this section seems fine. So let's just take some notes for this section. Functionality. Where is this functionality? It's in here. Inside load text field. Inside load text field. After the shelf is emptied. After shelf is emptied. Current question string, not current question string, but current question number. Let's say current question number should be updated after the shelf is emptied. And also shelf is emptied is called under shelf under. Where is the shelf is emptied location? Shelf dot by shelf element. By shelf element should be updated, but only once, but after each, no, but only one time, but only, what should be updated? Be careful with more than one call from different customers, because as you can imagine, this section can be called from more than one customer, and after, if this number increases called from many customers, it's not increasing just by one but more than one, which will probably result in a bug in the future. So let's wrap up for today, and thank you for listening till here, and I hope to continue on this tomorrow. Have a nice day, have a great Friday, and bye.